Stop everything you're doing for 30 seconds because this might forever change your perception of your entire existence. Have you ever felt like something was missing from what you've been taught about life, death, and who you truly are? As if someone had torn a page out of the book of your soul? It turns out, you were right. 12 centuries ago, a manuscript revealed the most carefully guarded secret of humanity, and it was erased from history, not by accident, but intentionally, because it gives you a power that many do not want you to have, the knowledge of what your soul actually did before you were born. And now that knowledge is resurfacing. The book, which few dare to mention, describes in detail the sacred steps the soul goes through before incarnating. The CEX anime in Latin is an ancient manuscript written over 1200 years ago by a secret order of mystics. It is said to contain maps of the soul's journey before, during, and after life, revealing secrets that religions and governments have hidden in order to maintain control over the people. Each step reveals a part of who you are and what you were programmed to forget. Imagine if you clearly understood why you were born into this family, in this body, at this time. Imagine that your greatest challenges and deepest pains were actually part of a much bigger plan, a plan you yourself chose before descending into this world. This isn't about mere theories or modern-day philosophies. It's an ancient map of the soul, kept hidden for centuries, passed down only to a few initiates, far from the eyes of the world. Once you access this knowledge, your life will never be the same. You'll understand that nothing happens by chance. Every person who crosses your path is there for a reason. Every obstacle is a stepping stone towards something greater. And most of all, you'll realize that there are no victims in the universe. You are and have always been the architect of your own journey. Recognizing this is the first step to breaking free from feelings of powerlessness, guilt, fear, and reclaiming full control over your existence. How many times have you looked at your life and asked, why am I here? What's the point of all this? Most of us go through life like we're on a runaway train. Things happen, people come and go, challenges arise, and everything seems out of our control. That emptiness, that lack of direction, it's no accident. It's a side effect of forgetting who we really are and what we came here to do. But what if I told you that before you were born, you knew exactly why you were going to walk every path of your life? According to the Forbidden Book, before incarnating, your soul undergoes a process of deep preparation. You, as a free consciousness, chose your parents, your physical body, the challenges you would face, the missions you would carry. All of it was decided in a state of total clarity. Pure wisdom, without fear, without doubt. Your soul knew that every experience, even the most painful one, would be an essential part of your evolution. Just as gold is purified by fire, your soul knew that only experience could expand its light. And the most incredible part is, you weren't alone in this preparation. You were guided by beings of light, masters, spiritual counselors, benevolent consciousnesses who helped you design the perfect life for your growth. When you understand that nothing is left to chance, your entire vision of life transforms. Pain stops being punishment, it becomes training. Losses are no longer curses, they create space for something greater. Difficulties stop being burdens. They become the keys to the next level of your journey. This awareness transforms suffering into power. It transforms fear into wisdom. It transforms doubt into faith. So now close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself if this truth resonates within you like an ancient whisper. If it does, then you are ready to remember your soul's journey. Here are now the 7 sacred steps your soul goes through before birth. According to the CX anime, before incarnating, your soul passes through 7 sacred stages. These steps are like the backstage of existence, where all the preparation takes place. Each step has a purpose. Each step shapes who you are, and knowing this process is like finding the map again. The map that was taken from you at the moment of your birth. To step 1, the call of the universal consciousness. Many of us go through life with a silent, almost imperceptible feeling, a sense of lack, a longing for something we can't quite explain. as if something is missing, even when everything seems fine on the surface. This feeling is not an illusion. It's the echo of the first step in the soul's journey, the call of the universal consciousness. According to the CX anime, everything begins when the universal consciousness, the beating heart of all existence, sends out a call. This call is not a command nor an obligation. It is a loving invitation, a silent melody that travels across dimensions and reaches your soul. No matter where it is, when your soul hears this call, it remembers. It's time to evolve again, time to experience something new, time to return to the sacred game of physical existence. At that moment, you, as a free soul, have the ultimate choice to accept or to decline the call. And believe me, if you're hearing this now, it's because at some point long ago, you accepted. You chose to come back. You chose to live. You chose to love, to grow, to fall, to begin again. Even now, incarnated, the call still echoes. It shows up in moments of silence, in the sparkle of a child's eyes, in the beauty of a sunset that moves you to tears for no reason, in that inner restlessness that pushes you to seek answers society has never given you. To recognize the call is to recognize that you are not just a body. It is to accept that your existence has a purpose far greater than simply working, paying bills, and going through the motions. When you begin to consciously listen to this call, your life changes. You feel the need to give deeper meaning to your choices. You feel the desire to align with the truth of your soul. You begin to remember, even if you don't know how. If this call resonates within you now, know this: you are ready to remember what you have forgotten. Mais, Step 2, the Life Review. Do you carry guilt and regrets that seem to hold you back? How many times have you caught yourself thinking, if only I had acted differently? If only I had said what I kept inside. If only I could go back. Most of us live imprisoned by these invisible chains, regrets from the past, paralyzing guilt, mistakes that seem unforgivable. And yet, deep down, we sense that all of this is part of a bigger plan. But what if I told you that even before you were born, your soul had already reviewed all of this and much more in a single, profound experience of awareness? According to the CX anime, the second step of the soul's journey is the life review. Before diving into a new body, your soul is invited to revisit everything it has lived in past existences. And this review is nothing like any human judgment. There is no vengeful God, no shame, no condemnation. There is only awareness and love. You feel in the first person every action you have taken and the impact it had on others. If you hurt someone, you feel their pain. If you healed someone, you feel their joy. If you inspired someone, you feel the expansion of their soul. The life review is a great lesson in empathy and cosmic responsibility, not to punish you, but to teach you so that you can evolve. Knowing that your soul has already reviewed your actions completely changes how you see mistakes and regrets. You understand that mistakes are not an end, but learning tools. Guilt is a prison. Awareness is liberation. Forgiveness is not a service to others. It's a gift to your soul. From this awareness, you can begin to live with more lightness, more compassion, and more responsibility. And the most beautiful part? You can at any moment change the impact you're creating. Imagine being able to do your own life review now, while there's still time to transform what must be transformed. Close your eyes and ask yourself, if I had to review my life today, what would I want to change? What kind of impact am I leaving on the people I encounter? What mark do I want to engrave in the eternity of my soul? This awareness is a gift. Step 3, the Council of Souls. Have you ever felt like you had to make an important decision but didn't know who to turn to? So many choices, so many possible paths, and often the feeling of being alone in deciding. But what if I told you that you were never alone? That there exists an invisible, loving, and wise force that has guided you long before your birth. In the third step of the soul's journey, as revealed in the CEX anime, you meet those who have always walked beside you. The Council of Souls. After the life review, Your soul is led to a sacred place, a realm of pure light and consciousness, where it reunites with the Council of Souls. Imagine a quiet room, vibrating with love. Beings of light, ancient, compassionate, and immensely wise, gather around you. They know you better than you know yourself. They remember all your incarnations, your struggles, your victories. These beings do not judge. They welcome you, and together you analyze the lessons your soul still wishes to learn. Hear the wounds that need to be healed, the abilities you want to develop. It is within this council that the blueprint of your next life is drawn. You discuss the challenges you choose to face, the souls you will meet along the way, those who will be allies, teachers, or even adversaries, and the great mission your soul seeks to accomplish. And yes, you take an active part in this plan. Nothing is imposed on you. You choose consciously, knowing that you've always had a loving spiritual team by your side. This completely transforms your perception of life. You begin to realize that strong intuitions are not just random impressions. They are signs sent by this council. Important dreams, chance encounters, even difficult pains can be part of the plan created with love. And even more, you understand that you can reconnect with your council. Even now, through meditation, sincere prayer, deep silence, you can hear these ancient voices again. You can ask for clarity, strength, and guidance. Daily step 4, choosing your life purpose. The days that pass in the same way, the dreams that seem distant, that feeling that you were born for something greater, but you still don't know what it is. That feeling of emptiness is not a mistake. It's a sign that somewhere deep within, your soul still remembers the mission it chose. But you forgot it when crossing the veil of physical existence. After reviewing your past lives and planning your next steps with the Council of Souls, comes the most sacred moment of all, the choice of your life purpose. According to the CEX anime, the soul never incarnates without a mission. It chooses, with clarity and love, what will be the great lesson, the great transformation, the great impact it wishes to experience in this lifetime. This purpose can manifest in many ways: healing relationships from past lives, developing compassion or courage, inspiring and awakening other souls, bringing new talents and wisdom to the world. Every purpose is unique. Every mission is irreplaceable. And most importantly, your soul never chooses a purpose that is impossible to fulfill. You were born with everything you need within you to accomplish what you chose. The first key to remembering your purpose is to pay attention to what deeply touches your soul. Ask yourself, what situations ignite my passion and energy? What kinds of problems in the world would I love to solve? What would I do joyfully, even without receiving anything in return? Your purpose is hidden within those simple answers. It is not something external, waiting to be found like a lost treasure. It already beats inside your heart, like a quiet flame waiting to be nourished. Moreover, the challenges that repeat the most in your life are also precious clues your greatest pains carry, the seeds of your purpose. What hurt you most in the past may be exactly what you came to heal in yourself and in others. Step 5. The choice of body and family. Many people believe that birth is a random lottery, that you simply appear in any family, in any body, in any place. But the Codex anime reveals something very different and much deeper. You chose all of this before incarnating. Your soul, in full awareness, was guided to visualize different possibilities of bodies, family lineages, and social and historical environments. And among all the options, you chose the one that best aligned with your life purpose. I know this idea can be hard to accept, especially when we look at lives full of pain, abandonment, poverty, or abuse. It may seem absurd to imagine that someone would choose to go through that. But your soul doesn't think like the human ego. It sees every hardship as a tool, every scar as a catalyst for awakening. It doesn't choose the easiest path, but the most powerful one for its growth. You didn't choose your parents for their outer appearance. You chose them for the invisible lessons they carried. Perhaps to learn forgiveness, perhaps to break cycles of pain that have repeated for generations, perhaps to grow stronger through overcoming. The same goes for your body. You chose the physical characteristics, genetic predispositions, limitations, or talents because they would be perfect for the challenges and achievements you set for yourself. Nothing, absolutely nothing, was a mistake. When you understand this, you begin to look at your personal story with new eyes. Pain stops being an injustice and becomes a purpose. Resentment toward your parents or the environment you were born into can dissolve into understanding. You realize that the souls who challenged you the most on earth are often the ones who loved you the most on a spiritual level. The ones who agreed to play difficult roles for your growth. And transformation happens here. When you honor your soul's choices, you unlock the true power within you. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you recognize yourself as a free being who accepted the most courageous mission of all, to live and evolve through the human experience. Dive to step 6, the veil of forgetting. After choosing your mission, your body and your family, comes the most delicate moment of the soul's journey. Crossing the veil of forgetting. On the spiritual plane, your soul knows everything. It remembers all its past lives, understands the purpose of each existence, and feels its unity with the all. But for the human experience to be real, intense and transformative, it is necessary to forget. It is necessary to be born without memories, like a blank page. The Codex Anime describes this moment as a silent crossing, a portal of luminous mist where, upon passing through, your soul leaves behind all awareness of eternal truths. Not as a punishment, not as a curse, but by choice. Imagine playing a game where you already know all the outcomes. There would be no excitement, no growth, uncertainty, mystery, doubt, pain. All of this is part of the plan. The veil is what makes the game of life real. It's what allows you to learn to love in darkness, to trust the invisible, to find your way even without a map. This is why you don't remember the Council of Souls. This is why you don't recall choosing your parents. This is why you so often feel lost. The veil was placed with love, so that every step could be authentic. But the veil is not perfect. It is thin in certain places, in dreams, in strong intuitions, in moments of deep silence. You feel the echoes of your true origin. You feel the nostalgia for a place you cannot locate. You sense that there is something more, beyond what the eyes can see. That longing, that search, it is your soul itself trying to pierce the veil, trying to remember. And the most beautiful part is that you can begin to tear through this veil right now. Consciously, when you meditate, when you pay attention to subtle signs, when you follow your intuition without fear, small tears appear. The light of who you truly are begins to shine through. You remember that you are not just this body, not just this name, not just this story. You are eternal. And even if you've forgotten for a while, even if you've doubted, your essence has never changed. It has only been asleep, waiting for the right moment to awaken. If you feel ready to cross the veil of forgetfulness and fully live the purpose your soul has chosen, I invite you to the Quantum Thinking Challenge. So in 21 days, you will reprogram your mind, raise your vibration, and access the dormant power within you. Many people have already awakened to a new reality and transformed their lives. Now it's your turn. The link is in the first pinned comment. See you on the other side. Step 7, the leap of faith. Birth after crossing the veil of forgetfulness. After leaving behind the conscious memory of everything you had planned, you arrive at the most courageous moment of the soul's journey, birth. The Codex Anime describes this moment as the true leap of faith. You'd be an eternal consciousness, full of wisdom and love, dive into the dense layers of physical existence, with no guarantees, with no certainties, with no conscious memories, only pure trust, only the invisible momentum of someone who knows that life is the path to expansion. This leap may be the greatest act of courage in all of existence. You leave the vastness of infinity to enter a fragile, vulnerable body. You accept the limitations of matter. You accept pain, fear, loss. You accept to forget who you are, so that through each human experience you can remember again. You are born small, defenseless. You breathe for the first time, you cry. The physical world welcomes you, harsh and wondrous all at once. Warmth, cold touch. Everything is new, but within you, something ancient remains, the spark of remembrance. Early childhood is the period when the soul is still very connected to its origin. Young children talk about past lives, speak with invisible friends, dream dreams that feel like messages from other worlds. But over time, the veil becomes denser. Society shapes conditions, teaches to forget. And yet we never completely forget. In moments of silence, deep pain, unexplained joy, your soul whispers. It remembers. It remembers the leap you took. It remembers the reason you came. And if you listen, even for a flash of a second, you will feel that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to remember. Every love you experience is an echo of eternal truth. Every new beginning is a reminder that you once were brave and that you can be brave again. Now take a deep breath. Feel the weight of your own courage. You chose to be born, chose to forget, chose to play the hardest game of all, living as a human, while trying to remember that you are divine. Birth is not just the beginning of physical life. It is the start of the soul's great adventure in search of its own light. And now that you remember this, it's impossible to go back. Now that you've started to remember, an inevitable question arises. Why was all of this hidden from us? If our soul goes through this sacred process before birth, if every life has a purpose, if we are the architects of our own existence, why were we taught to live as victims? Why did we grow up believing we were small, limited, unworthy? The answer is simple and brutal, because conscious souls are hard to control. Since the dawn of civilizations, those who held power understood a dangerous truth. A human being who remembers their true nature cannot be manipulated, does not live in fear, does not accept the illusion of separation. Imagine a humanity where every person knows they are eternal, that they chose to be here, that they are co-creators of their own reality. Governments, religions, institutions would lose the ability to impose rules through fear, guilt, punishment. The tools of control used for centuries would simply stop working. That's why this knowledge was hidden, not only concealed, but intentionally erased, distorted, discredited. The enemy of the Codex is just one among many forbidden texts. Manuscripts speaking of the soul's journey were banned, burned, buried in history. Masters who tried to remind humanity of its true origin were persecuted, ridiculed, silenced. But the truth has its own power. It cannot be buried forever. It lives in the margins of ancient books, in the messages of dreams, in the whispers of your own heart. You feel it, don't you? That inner restlessness, that sense that there is so much more than what you've been told. That is your soul trying to break through the wall of lies built around you. And the good news is, no one can stop your soul from awakening. The power to remember who you are has always been and will always be within you. Now that you know this, you have a choice. You can go back to sleep, just as those who built the system of forgetting want. Or you can move forward, break old patterns, and live as what you have always been, an eternal, free and conscious being. Now that you know the truth has been hidden, the next question is inevitable. How do you begin to remember who you really are? The CEX anime says that the memory of the soul is not completely erased. It remains dormant, like a seed beneath the soil, waiting for the right conditions to bloom. And those conditions can be created. Remembering who you are does not happen in a magical flash. It's a process, a gradual reunion with what has always been within you. And the more you align with certain practices and signs, the easier it becomes to tear the veil and let your true light emerge. It all begins with silence. Modern life is noisy, chaotic, full of distractions, and this is intentional. Because in the silence, you begin to hear what has been forgotten. Meditating, even just a few minutes a day, is like lighting a lantern in the darkness of your consciousness. Each deep breath, each moment of mindfulness brings you closer to your essence. Then there are the dreams. The Codex reveals that during sleep, the soul is partially freed from the limitations of the body. lucid dreams, out-of-body experiences, recurring symbols. All of these are fragments of your true origin trying to reach you. Don't ignore them. Write them down, reflect on them. Ask yourself, what is my soul trying to remind me of? I've had dreams where I met someone I had never seen in this life. But upon waking, I had the overwhelming feeling I had known them forever. Or dreams of houses and places that felt incredibly familiar and comforting, even though I had never seen or visited them in this earthly life. Another powerful way is to follow your intuition. Logic has been exalted in the modern world as the only reliable path, but the soul whispers through intuition. Sometimes, without any logical reason, you feel the urge to change direction, to talk to someone, to start a new project. If those impulses are pure and aligned, they are not coincidences. They are the soul's memories in action. And above all, remember you are not alone. The Council of Souls, your spiritual guides, your own higher essence, they are all still there, waiting for you to make space for the reunion. When you sincerely ask for help, the universe always responds. Awakening is an act of courage. It is stepping out of autopilot, refusing the narrative of fear, limitation, and guilt. It is choosing every day to remember I am eternal. I am light. I am the creator of my reality. Don't wait for the world to change before you begin. Don't wait for everything to be perfect to take action. The world changes when you change. Your life blossoms when you choose to bloom. And if something within you has resonated with everything you've heard so far, know this: your awakening has already begun.